Nerderotic.com.
Welcome back to Nerderotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerderotic.com, and it is time for a Star Trek Discovery lawsuit update. I am about 2 months overdue on my promised monthly update, so my apologies to Abdin. Now, we have about 40,000 new friends here on the channel since my last update, so I think I should bring you up to speed. Who is Abdin? He is a creator of a game called Tardigrades, a point-and-click adventure game that is on Steam that has a lot of similarities to a show called Star Trek Discovery. So many that Anas was forced to sue them. Anas created Tardigrades as a creative outlet. He was a caregiver for two very sick parents, and recently his father passed away. And Star Trek Discovery fans wasted no time in using that to abuse him. Anas Abdin. I didn't produce April's tally due to the loss of my dad. Here's the outcome of May so far. 3 gloatings over loss of parent, 6 death threats, 5 beating threats, 18 sexual abuses, 36 plus bullying emails, 350 plus targeted spam. This is the Star Trek Discovery fan base. There is a great irony here that I will get to later, and I will get to the abuse more, but I want to show you the similarities between Star Trek Discovery and Tardigrades once again, just in case you are new to this. Bad Robot and Intern's secret hideout borrow a lot of things, and they try to put a new type of shine on it. They have a long history of this, and I will show you just a little bit of it later. But Star Trek Discovery Season 1 was centered around a mushroom network. Somebody became a fan of Paul Stamets, so much so they named a character after him, which in itself shows that they are willing to use other people's concepts to inspire their ideas or straight up copy them. And they came up with the mycelium network within the show, using the giant blue tardigrade to help the Discovery travel instantaneously in time and space. Anas Abdin came up with this first in his Tardigrades game with a giant blue tardigrade that traveled instantaneously through time and space. But it doesn't end there. We also have a multiracial gay couple that look a lot like the characters from the Tardigrades game. Anas Abdin logged all of his creations, proving that he came up with them first. Here is Aziz from December 2014, who looks a lot like Dr. Hugh Calder in October 2017. Here's Messiak, December 2016, who looks a lot like Paul Stamets from October 17. Then, of course, we have Yolanda from December 2014, who looks a little bit like Michael Burnham. And if you add this Michael Burnham in her prison jumpsuit, it looks a lot like Yolanda. And then, of course, there is Natasha, a bushy-haired redhead girl, and Sylvia Tilly, a bushy-haired redhead girl. Now, with the latter characters, certainly you could say maybe it's just a coincidence, but if you add them all together with the giant blue tardigrade that travels instantaneously in time and space, and you have, in my opinion, theft. According to his pinned tweet on August 21st of 2018, I tried to prevent this as much as possible, but CBS treated me in disrespect. I am officially going to court against CBS's Star Trek Discovery. To give a little context to this, when Star Trek Discovery premiered in September of 2017, Anas was notified within the first 3 or 4 episodes that there were similarities to his game. He did not search it out. It was people letting him know. He went on for another year trying to work it out with CBS, and CBS gave him the cold shoulder and the middle finger. The only settlement they offered was to not sue him over the use of the tardigrade. Here's the not so funny bit about this. This is right after CBS, when they took control of Star Trek, decided to sue all the fan films out of existence, including the great Star Trek Continues, among many others. And this caused a rift in the fan base before Star Trek Discovery even got started. And now Star Trek Discovery is ripped off, in my opinion. Well, that's how life goes, and that's why so many people hate Star Trek Discovery. Despite the fact that it's turned into the room of science fiction television, it has split the fan base prior to that by attacking fandoms. Need I point out, and I guess I have to CBS one more time, when fans are making films of your franchise, that means they love it. That means they want more of it, and that means you are failing them because you're not giving them what they need. And fans respect the legacy of your franchise more than you do. You don't even respect the canon within your own TV shows, CBS and Alex Kurtzman, and I believe Bad Reboot and Secret Hideout are behind all of this because of licensing deals, and they know that the fan films make their stuff look bad, or worse, they actually make their stuff look bad, and the fan films are far superior to anything Alex Kurtzman and company and multiple showrunners have come out with, and it doesn't look like the future is that bright. Yes, we got a Star Trek Discovery Season 3 announcement, but we have heard nothing from the show since, and if it doesn't go into production, say in the next week or two, you will not be getting any Star Trek Discovery in 2020. While Alex Kurtzman and Star Trek Discovery have gotten a lot of criticism from this channel and will continue to get a lot of criticism, I will never get personal, but the Star Trek Discovery fans don't mind doing that at all to Anas Abdin. Why? Because he is simply protecting his own creation. He is not trying to take down Star Trek. Star Trek, in my opinion, decided to steal from him. It wasn't anything Anas did wrong, but instead, these people take it out on him, and this is the kind of stuff he gets. Anas Abdin, many of you have asked for samples of the hate mail I am getting from Star Trek Discovery fans attacking me, not because of my opinion, just because I'm trying to defend my intellectual rights. Blank has left a new comment on your post, Dad, I love you. Finally, now let's hope his mom dies soon so he can stop whining about being a caregiver. Your pixelated game sucks just like your pixelated face. And we are called the trolls. I want you to stare at this and drink it in. Drink in the hate behind that comment just because Anas is suing this person's favorite TV show, a show that, in my opinion, stole Anas's work. So, Anas is just trying to defend himself. His father passes away, and this fine person decides to take advantage of it. Very classy. And if anybody thinks that Star Trek Discovery fans aren't this foul, all you have to do is read my comment section, or Doomcock's comment section, or Mecha Random's comment section, or Midnight's Edge comment section, or Anti-Trekker's comment section. All of us have received plenty of things just like this, and it's fine. Directed at me all day long, but lay off the man's family. Now, Anas has never asked for anything, not a penny about this. He's only had one open request. I wanted to share a quick update with you all, but as many of you know, lawsuits and their procedures take time. I have a little request though. If you have any kind of information that you think may help in any way with the Tardigrades lawsuit, please feel free to share it with me. You can always email me at ajabdin@yahoo.com. Your help is appreciated, and as always, please keep me and my family in your thoughts and prayers as we are going through a very difficult time right now. As far as what's going on with the actual lawsuit, well, CBS has been, of course, delaying and dragging their feet. This is how these things go. We were in the Discovery phase, and they had to be pushed into Discovery. We are trying to see how many of the employees at the time had access to Steam accounts. Now, to give you a little refresher, during Season 1's production of Star Trek Discovery, they fired Brian Fuller. I believe he was forced out by Kurtzman and Bad Reboot, and Kurtzman took over. They used Brian Fuller's notes as a guide for Season 1, but they needed to fill in the blanks. Well, what did they do? My belief is they were under the gun. They had a deadline. They were supposed to release this much earlier. Star Trek Discovery was delayed quite a bit. So somebody desperate for ideas went onto their Steam account, in my opinion, and borrowed and stole from Anas Abdin, again, in my opinion. Again, for any lawyers out there, my speculation comes from what I've seen on the screen and what I've heard from Anas Abdin on his blog publicly. I really have no idea what's going on. Again, this is purely my speculation. Protectable. Let me mention some facts. Now, please bear with me, as what you are about to read is not going to sound logical at all. Well, this is the home of logic extremists, Anas. To CBS lawyers Wook Wang and Jonathan Zavin. Number one, first, they argued that they did nothing wrong and that my complaint, the lawsuit, is frivolous, which the court later ruled in my favor for this part. Number two, Then they partially admitted access and copying, but that they copied the de minimis, meaning the minimum, the allowable amount, and scenes afar, common scenes in specific genre or theme. In other words, the giant blue tardigrade that travels instantaneously in time and space happens all the time in science fiction, just like gunfights in cowboy movies. Number 3, they argued, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that what they copied has no similarities. Lawyers. Number 4, and finally, they are now saying that even though they admitted earlier that they did copy, they now did not copy because we came up with our ideas independently. Well, I'm sure you stole those ideas, in my opinion, independently. Now, I'm not a law expert or anything, but I think even a 5-year-old can come up with a better and more logical argument than Wooks. I had to make sure with both my lawyers, Alan Chan and John Johnson, that I do understand these arguments clearly, as they make no sense to me. These arguments are from their actual filed dismissal letters to the court. All they have done so far is try to mislead the court with irrelevant cases while contradicting themselves to a pathetic point. Why would they need to use all these varied and different arguments if they were so innocent? Well, because they're not, in my opinion. They are thieves, in my opinion. And Anas Abdin owns the rights to Star Trek Discovery, in my opinion. CBS, you could have avoided a lot of this by playing ball with Anas, but now you dicked around with the wrong guy. A guy with some scruples, a guy with some gumption, a guy with some sack. Based on Wook's argument, my elements are not protectable, so the same goes for theirs. None of their material is protectable. Scenes afar, none of their Star Trek material is protectable. This means from their arguments that anyone can create a work with the same bridge crew and the same spore drive and the giant tardigrade navigator. Does this mean the Orville had protection from the beginning, as it is not treated as a parody? Because honestly, the Orville did not even get close to any of the specific elements from Star Trek as Star Trek Discovery did to my Tardigrades game. Absolutely. And Star Trek fans who protect this, I understand. You have an emotional bond with this franchise. I have an emotional bond with this franchise. We have grown up with it. We love it. We adore it. But is this the Star Trek you want? Do you want ripped off Star Trek? Well, I would rather have the parody that is the Orville. And we're already starting to see the fan base break down and the repercussions of CBS suing fan films. We had Stage 9, who has changed their name to Messy Desk. They did an Enterprise bridge simulation, and you could just walk around the Enterprise bridge. CBS shut it down. They weren't making any money. So you know what they did? They changed it to the Orville. And you know what Seth told them? Go ahead. Why? Because Seth understands the fans, and CBS does not. And they are going to kill the golden goose. And that's what we, the fans, are worried about with this crap Trek that we're getting and this treatment of the fans and the treatment of Anas Abdin. People are getting turned off left and right. Something that was already happening from the show itself. A show that spent its time being everything except for Star Trek. Let me give you just a brief example of how Alex Kurtzman borrows from Bad Robot. What was the premise of Star Trek Discovery Season 2? A bad Section 31, advanced technology, and a superhero. What was the premise of Star Trek Into Darkness? A bad Section 31, super advanced technology, and a supervillain. A supervillain taken from Star Trek. Within the final episode, they copied Iron Man, Star Wars, Inception, and 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is what happens when you have a show written by people whose only sci-fi knowledge is watching 2-minute clips on YouTube. CBS and Alex Kurtzman have done this to themselves. They could have handled Anas Abdin's lawsuit quietly. Instead, it is out in the public. Of course, it doesn't get covered by any of the access media because CBS owns so much of it, and the other ones that they don't own are in fear of them, while we are not. And we are going to continue talking about this. Anytime there is an update, I will bring it to you. Anas, I'm sorry you've gone through so much abuse, but you are strong. You can handle it. You are taking on CBS, and again, not asking for a penny to do it. Now, there is going to be multiple links to multiple channels in the description to give you more background on this lawsuit. Links to Ricada Law, links to Midnight's Edge, links to Doomcock, who interviewed Anas Abdin, and links to Messy Desks so you can look at the Orville simulation and definitely support the Orville. It has just turned into a better show. The Star Trek parody has now surpassed its original, and the original, the source material, has turned into a parody. And we can thank Bad Robot and Secret Hideout and CBS for this mess, although they'll act like it's our fault. We didn't make Star Trek bad, and we didn't steal anything from anybody else, in my opinion. Everybody, please do me a favor, share this one around. We need to get the word out on this because nobody in the Access media is talking about it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Everybody have a great day. Anas, I am truly sorry for your father. You have my deepest condolences. Everybody have a great day, and may the free folks sing songs of your greatness.